Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 12th day of January 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders who every day are risking their lives to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also helping the people that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that keep these industries alive. And finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, and senior citizens homeless in America. Millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Now, there was a basketball game last night in Portland, Oregon. The New York Knicks defeated the Portland Trail Blazers 123-114. Interesting game it was. One of the most glaring stats that you see is the Knicks only took 8 free throws. And the Portland Trailblazers took 25 free throws. Now, that's normally a bad sign for the referees, and it is. But what makes it worse is, generally, the more shots you get at the rim, closer you get, the more fouls you're going to get. Makes sense, right? So the more you get in the paint, the more fouls you're going to get. So the Knicks outscored Portland in the paint 56-50. And yet they only got 8 free throws. Danny Avdia got 10. And I'd say half of them weren't even fouls. In fact, one of them, the Knicks challenged. If there was more challenges to be had, he wouldn't have had that many. Because he did not get fouled half of those times. He was just well defended. But so it always smacks of conspiracy when you see stuff like that. Like, if they want to prop somebody up, they will. Now, I'm not saying Danny Avdia can't ball. He has a tremendous first step. Nice shot. Tough kid. But he shouldn't be going to the foul line that much. Now, he got hurt, I think it was the fourth quarter last night. And it was a non-contact injury. He came down, and the way he came down, and many times that I've seen this, is usually a knee, but it wasn't a knee in this case. It was his back, it appeared to be. Something to do with his back. He came down after getting a rebound, and he landed awkwardly, but it wasn't like where a knee would go. I've seen that many times. Many players have gotten ACLs, non-contact ACLs, like that. But no, he landed, and his back seemed to twist a little bit. Nobody touched him. Surprised they didn't call a foul. But he went right to the locker room. So we hope he's all right and that he comes back soon. But the Knicks played the same template that we saw Friday with Phoenix. They played that template again. The difference, huge difference, Josh Hart. Okay, so Josh Hart is literally plug and play, in the sense that you plug him into this starting lineup and they go to another level. And it's not just, okay, yes, we know he's a tremendous rebounder. We know he could be a triple-double machine. And then lately, this year, especially maybe in 2 years, he's been scoring. But it's not all that. It's the energy that he brings. Just brings up the whole level of the energy. And he seems to turn Brunson's bulb on. Boom, all of a sudden Brunson becomes as soon as Josh Hart, it's just Hart. And then they all seem to tick up a notch, especially the Villanova crew, when Hart shows up. And that happened. And then, of course, the Knicks last night, they only went, and I told y'all, forget, Tyler Kolek minutes going to get cut. And they got cut last night. And Shamet not even back yet. So you got Shamet coming back. So you're not going to see a lot of these rookies. Diawara got 3 minutes last night. McCullough didn't get none. Kohler didn't get none. Porter didn't get none. Of course, Daddy ain't been getting none. So you could see, it already's happening. And that's without Yabusele. Yabusele was out last night. He wasn't even available. So when you get Shamet back, and you got Deuce and you get Shaman back, you're going to see Brown tighten up this rotation. It's going to be a solid 9 with a possible, 9 and a possible. The possible would be Kolick. Okay, so that's what you're going to see coming down the stretch now. Last night, the starters to see. Brunson played 37 minutes, OG 34, 31 for Josh Hart, 31 for McCall Bridges, and 28 for Towns. And then you see Mitchell Robinson play 25 minutes because Mitchell Robinson was a monster last night. And Deuce played 35 minutes. Now, Deuce shot the ball terrible, but he was one of them nails in the coffin at the end. Okay? And he shot 3 for 11, but he was +1. Why? Because Deuce plays defense. And so Mitchell Robinson, though, 6 points, 11 boards, and that don't even tell the story. The 3 blocks, huge blocks. Mitch Rob took over that game for a stretch last night. And so, the Knicks basically was in control of this game. Yes, Abdiva got hurt. That definitely slowed down Portland's comeback ability and their attempt to come back. But the Knicks had this game. It was going to be the Knicks game. They were just a better team. And so, and again, this is any given night in the NBA. Portland could have beat them. But the Knicks had this game last night. And again, the boards. Look at this now. The Knicks end up with 45 rebounds last night. 45 rebounds. They end up with 32 assists, 12 turnovers. Portland, 39 rebounds, 24 assists, 15 turnovers, and again, points in the paint, 56-50 in favor of the Knicks. These are the type of stats you need when you're marching toward a chip. And this is the thing. After they lost to Phoenix, I think it was Phoenix, or before that maybe, I had people come on my channel, but Knicks are not a championship team. Why you want to bring that on my channel? I don't want that vomit on my channel. I don't want to hear you say that. Go tell that to, for the fans, by the fans, or some crap. Don't come in here with that. No, we still marching toward the chip. Now, right now, the Knicks are 25-14. They played 39 games. So 2 more games and they'd be 41 games. Now, I wanted 55 or more wins, which means 27, 28 wins at that point, at that midpoint. Best the Knicks could do at this stage with the 2 games we got Sacramento and Golden State. Best they could do was 27, which would be 54. So they'd be right around there. And if they lost one of the next 2, they'd be a little behind. But I really am expecting them to be better in the second half of the season because they're getting fully healthy. They're getting acclimated to Mike Brown's system. They're getting their roles defined. And last night, now Cat, I don't know, maybe because Hart was playing, but Cat only got 13 shots last night. But he got 11 boards, and he got 3 offensive boards. Mitch Rob had 6 offensive boards, but he only got 13 shots. And then Brunson had 19, McCall 15, Josh 15, Anunoby 15, Deuce 11. So it was a very balanced attack. And you could see that by the stat of the assists, having 32 assists. So that was a balanced attack. That's when the Knicks are at their best, when they're balanced. And of course, because Josh Hart was out there, one play, the ball was rolling. He was at least a body length away. He dives on the floor, gets the basketball, throws it ahead. It ends up being a Knicks layup. But that type of stuff sets the tone for the whole team. He does it. Of course, Deuce does it. Mitch Rob has even done it. They will dive on the floor, OG too, and get that ball. And they will get it more times than not. And that's the energy. That's the vibe that Hart brings to the table. It's hard to duplicate that. You can't really quantify that except in plus minus and in terms of wins when he's there. And it's obvious. Everybody knows when he was out, the Knicks were having trouble winning. He's back, all of a sudden they rolling. So, he is definitely Charlie Hustle, no doubt. And I think, going into Sacramento, he gets a couple of days rest. It's always hard. I know he's a tough dude, and I know he's always ready, him and his Mike and Ikes and all that. But he needs, you're going to be a little sore this morning. So today's Monday. They got Monday today. They got tomorrow. And then they play Wednesday night. They play Wednesday night, our time, Eastern time, about 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock local, 10 o'clock, I'm sorry, Eastern time, about 10 o'clock, 7 o'clock local time. So they get time to get back, heal, go through, go through plays, go through the strategy, go through the basics of what we need to be doing. It should be getting solidified now. And then, hopefully we're closer to Shamit returning. That's the final piece, really, Shamit. This is looking good. It's been looking good. Like I said, I didn't understand why people was tripping. Yeah, they lost against Phoenix, but they played the right way. They just need to continue to do that. They'll win way more than they lose if they continue to do that. So I think they will. And that's the key thing here. I think they will. So I like that Brunson again picked his spots. He wasn't ball hogging. He did it a couple of times, but it was negligible. He really was picking his spots. 8 assists, 6 boards. He was plus 18. A couple of times he had me cringing on his defense. And this is the thing. I'm very sensitive myself to the Knicks allowing people in the paint. And Brunson sometimes is a daggone turnstile allowing people in the paint. And it's an effect of it creates secondary and tertiary effects that ends up in the basket for the other team and sometimes a foul on us. But aside from that, he played really good. That's what I'm saying. And Bridges, of course, was really good road runner. OG, they were all good, man. And Deuce, Mitchell Robinson, I mean, they were real good. Even West 4th Street did not shoot the ball well last night, but he was still in the flow, and that's what I mean. Overall, it's a flow, it's a vibe, and Hart brings that. What's good about Hart is that he's mostly available. See, as unlike the Anthony Ambling school of unavailability, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, they in the school of roughnecks. They in the school of roughnecks, with Dylan Brooks and them. They in the roughneck school. And so roughnecks are usually available. Desmond Bain, dirty roughneck. He's usually available. So Josh Hart's usually available. That's good news for the Knicks coming down the stretch here. So, and they're really doing a good job preserving Mitchell Robinson coming down the stretch as well. So this is looking good. I like it. I've been liked it. I've not veered from it. I got upset a couple of times at how they play, but I've never said they're not a championship team. I've never jumped off the bandwagon because everybody's tripping and jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. No. This is still a championship team. They can still take the East. Yes, Detroit is better right now. But right now ain't May. And this team is going to get better by the time we get to May. So I'm looking forward to that. So we got tonight and tomorrow. Now, Detroit plays at some point. Right now, the Knicks are 3.5 games behind Detroit, a half game above Boston. A game and a half above Toronto, I believe. And so the Knicks are in a pretty good spot right now, coming back with Shamit coming soon. So I'm hoping we could see Shamit. Either Thursday in Golden State or Saturday night in Phoenix, in Madison Square Garden against Phoenix. So, let's see. But I think he's going to be back soon. I really do. Especially now we got 2 days for him to get some contact in. It's good, y'all. This is a good time to be a Knicks fan. Don't get with these knuckleheads that the world ends when they lose and their world beats when they win. Don't do that. Stay steady, okay? This is a good team. It's a good team. They don't need to make any trades. Somebody said, well, we need to package. We don't need to package crap. We need to play what we got. And pay Deuce McBride. That's all. Other than that, we good. Now, Mitch Rob is coming up on his contract. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I told y'all Hartenstein's going to be available this summer. So I don't know what the Knicks going to do. But you got to take care of Deuce McBride. That's all I know. Other than that, let's go get this chip. One game at a time. Sacramento next. Shalom.